Bitcoin is at an ultimatum as we approach the end of this market structure in this pennant formation. You can see we're either going to be breaking out to the upside or downside, and I'm going to talk about why I'm seeing some very important indicators with the 50-day moving average alongside with what's happening with Ethereum's breakout, Bitcoin dominance, and total cryptocurrency market cap compared to gold markets as well. And by the way, sorry for not making a video in over a month. I got into a car accident, unfortunately. I'm doing a lot better now. I did have to get stitches on my face, and a lot of other things were broken. However, I'm not going to go into too much depth there because I am doing a lot better, and I'm excited to get back on the video grind. But if you guys are in our free Discord, the link is in the description below if you're not. We do post our daily market updates here, and I've been posting every single day. I'm posting all of my trades as well. We have our signals here, and we have our whole community here engaged on a daily basis. And I've been taking this time off to really engage in the Discord with our members. So if you guys aren't a part of that, the link is in the description below. But I'm going to talk about what's happening with Bitcoin and where I predict us to start heading towards, as this is really what my pattern prediction is going to be. And I'm going to talk about why. I think that because we're seeing so much manipulation in this market, we're going to see a little bit more manipulation before we see a breakout to the upside. Now, when you look at this current formation, you can see we saw a very similar area here in the past where we saw Bitcoin consolidate between that $10,200 and $10,300 range before seeing a drop to that ascending support level, and then we continued the trend up. And I believe we're going to be seeing this exact same formation here once again. As we start to head towards the end of this pennant, we're going to have to come to an ultimatum. And in my opinion, that's going to be the ultimatum, because as you can see, this ascending support level is still active, and I wouldn't be surprised for us to see one more push down and allow us to get that final and last entry under 10,000 for us to then see the breakout to the upside. Now, why I'm still so confident with the breakout to the upside for Bitcoin, because a lot of people are saying it might go to 7,000, but I just don't believe that's the case. And the reason being is because when you look at Ethereum's recent breakout, you can see we went above that 50-day moving average, which is an average we've been trying to get above with Bitcoin for quite some time now. And Bitcoin has been back and forth above that 50-day moving average. But you can see right now we are below the 50 and the 100-day moving average depicted here in red and blue. So therefore, I think that's enough pressure for us to see one more push down before we see the breakout to the upside. But overall, when it comes to the fundamentals, because when it comes to markets, 80% of trading is emotional, 10% is technical, but the other 10% is fundamental. When we see gold and the market structure we're having here, it wouldn't be a surprise for me to see us see a little bit more downside in a correction towards that 50-day moving average before seeing further upside with gold. But I'm still very bullish on gold, because as you can see, when we look at markets like the NASDAQ, which is a traditional market, typically when we're approaching this next recession that everyone is expecting, we're going to see capital and liquidity flow from traditional markets to hedges like gold and Bitcoin. And so knowing right now that the NASDAQ just saw a quick pump up, we already double top. I'm not expecting us to go ahead and break new highs with the NASDAQ. I think this is going to be one last push up before we start to see a real push down here with the stock market. And I think that's when we're going to see gold come into play, and that's when Bitcoin is going to have the chance to see a major breakout. But before we see that breakout, I do expect us to see a little bit more downside, but this may be the last time that we see Bitcoin under the $10,000 level. And if you guys are a part of our Discord and you are staying in touch with our market updates, you know I did post a recent market update talking about an extreme opinion that I have about Bitcoin and why I believe that Bitcoin may never see prices under 10,000 at one point here soon, because of the whales wanting to keep it in the 5-digit numerical values. And if you guys haven't seen that post, it's in the market updates here. You can see it starts off here as this may be a bit of an extreme opinion on Bitcoin, but this is more based on fundamentals alongside some technicals. I would check that article out if you guys want to have a good understanding of what I believe this market is heading towards over the next few months. But overall, I wanted to make this video so you guys have an idea of where I'm expecting Bitcoin to head, because everyone is looking at this Ethereum breakout and expecting Bitcoin to also break out, which I was also expecting Bitcoin to break out. But as we start to see more and more momentum here with Ethereum and Bitcoin staying stagnant, for me, that shows us that the whales have something planned. They have a move ahead of us, and we're not just going to see a quick breakout here with Bitcoin, because if we do break out right now, then everyone is going to be jumping onto Bitcoin knowing the fact that we're going to be above the 50-day, we're going to be above the 100-day, which will act as strong support, but more importantly, we're going to break above this major trend line that everyone has been following for quite some time now, and I just don't expect that to happen out of nowhere. But because we saw the breakout with Ethereum over that 50-day moving average, what I'm expecting is for Ethereum to go ahead and bounce on that 50-day moving average, which you can see it likes to bounce on the 50-day. If you can see these previous points in which it's bounced on the 50-day, that right there is going to be enough room for Bitcoin to see that final last drop. As we saw here, if we pull up a 1-hour chart, you can see how similar this market structure is here to previous market structure. Sorry, I just drew that by accident because I'm using a computer that I don't typically use. By the way, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you guys want to support my work here, especially on our YouTube channel. You guys mean a lot to me, and I wanted to make sure to put this video out, even though that, you know, I don't have my front 2 teeth right now. I have a retainer on, I have stitches, and I just went through this car accident and a concussion, totaled my car. But at the end of the day, I'm staying positive because I am behind my charts, and we've actually had almost no trades hit stop loss. If you guys are in our Discord, you can see all of these targets hit just day after day. BitMEX targets, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and gold being my main asset classes right now to trade. But anyways, to look at this market structure, you can see this is where I'm seeing very similar structure. You can see we had this consolidation here, and then we saw this fake breakout past 10.3 before we saw the big drop. You can see right here, same exact consolidation here. We actually dropped all the way down to 9,800. That's exactly where we dropped right here, as you can see, before we saw that push back up, and then we saw that consolidation, fake out to 10.3, and then we pushed all the way back down to 10.5. I think we'll see that same exact structure here where we went down to 98. We saw this push up. Now we're staying below 10.3. We may see a quick fake out above 10.3 and then that push down, but I don't believe we'll hit that 9,400. I think the perfect entry, if you guys are staying into our Discord and looking at those market updates, is going to be around that $9,600 to $9,900 level. And if I were you, I would just set a stop loss around that $9,200 mark, because if we do break down, there is that possibility, then we are going to be most likely heading towards the $8,000 and $7,000 levels. But I'm not assuming that opinion, as I am overall bullish. And at the end of the day, when looking at any sort of technical analysis, you want to go with the major trend. And as we can all agree, the major trend here is still up. We have a lot of room to go. When we look at the weekly chart here, you can see we have all of this room here from previous market structure that we have to start heading up towards. And I'm not necessarily worried about these lower amounts of volume, because you can see even with the low amounts of volume, we still see good momentum and price action. I'm more worried about price action, overall market trend, and then market structure when it comes down to the daily and 4-hour chart. So that's what I'm looking at here. Another confirmation of this analysis would be looking at Bitcoin dominance. When we pull up this weekly chart, you can see we're heading towards these known resistance levels. However, when we pull up the daily chart, you can see we're still overall trending up, but we just broke below that 50-day moving average. So I wouldn't be surprised for dominance to see a continued drop, possibly towards that 100-day, before we see a bounce up, because you can see in the past we have went towards that 100-day, and you can see it's acted as a area of support before a breakout in the past. So that will allow Bitcoin to see that quick drop down. That will also allow Ethereum to correct towards the 50-day moving average, and that's when I think it's more appropriate to assume the breakout for Bitcoin. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed this analysis and this video. If we were to pull up total cryptocurrency market cap just to finalize this analysis, what I want you to realize is where we see major volume right now. We're at this area of major volume, but you can see just below we have still a lot of volume here as well. And so for us to break down towards that 240,000 total market cap wouldn't be a surprise to me before we see the breakout to the upside. But I just don't believe we're going to see any bear market here soon. I don't think we'll break below 240 billion in total market cap. You can see there's enough volume there to hold us, and this right here is going to act as that safety net. And I think that's where the whales want to take advantage of the manipulation and take advantage of this little gap of volume here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys support my analysis, like this video, and other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in here on Traders Profit Club. And I want to see you guys active in the Discord, because I'm there every single day. And if you guys want to get my trades as well, The Discord is free. The link is in the description below, and there's a mobile version as well that you can just utilize on your phone. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and with that being said, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much, and I will be recovering and back on the YouTube grind here fairly soon. But once again, the Discord has been a great place for us to communicate and engage, and I can't wait to see more of you guys there. Thank you guys so much, and until our next one,